Hi, my name is Deborah Jones Bell. I am the CFO, Administrative Assistant, any title you want to say, for our family business.
Hi, my name is Hyman Bell, and I'm a Regional Vice President with Primerica Financial Services.
I am from Columbus, Georgia. Really, I'm from Casita, Georgia, but nobody knows where Casita is.
And I'm from Miami, Florida, little town, parts of Miami called Liberty City.
When I was growing up, living in a small town, there wasn't a lot of guys to date. I didn't do a lot of dating when I was in high school.
The type of girls I was interested in, pretty much the type of girls that was interested in me. I didn't really find out what type of girls I really liked until later, but in high school, it was pretty much just whoever I could pretty much figure out that would date me. Let me say it that way. Well, we first met, a very interesting story. I was in the military, in the Army. Yeah. I was in the barracks. In the room next to me was my now brother-in-law, and he had a picture in his room with Deborah and her sisters, her mother, her niece. I saw that picture with all these beautiful women, and I said, man, introduce me to one of these young ladies. And of course, Deborah was the only available one on the picture. I sometimes wonder, had it been different if someone else had been available, but that's not the case. She was available, and my brother-in-law, Calvin Miller, he took me down to Casita, Georgia, and introduced me to Deborah, and she was sitting on the couch watching Wheel of Fortune. That's how we met.
We got in a dating relationship. It was something that just happened when my brother-in-law brought him down to the house. Of course, I knew he was coming to meet me when they first pulled up. My sisters and I, we were all standing up in the window, looking out at the window, saying, oh, what he look like? Oh, he got a lot of hair on his chest. Oh, he kind of cute. When they finally came in, we all sat down like nothing was going on. So we got a dating relationship. I guess he liked me and I liked him. So we just took off from there.
Our dating relationship was basically, like I said, after my brother-in-law introduced us, I didn't know what I was looking for in a relationship at the time. I always pretty much liked having a girlfriend. So I felt like if this would work out good, then she'd be somebody I'd have a relationship with, and that's what we did. Trials and tribulations that we had during our dating period, probably because I was in the military, one of the things that happened a lot, the unit that I was in was an infantry unit, which required me to go to the field a lot. That required me to miss her more. It didn't allow me to spend as much time as I would have liked to spend with her. So that was a huge challenge for her, and a challenge for me. Initially, her family, I believe being in a military town, they felt like anyone that's dating a military guy not going to marry you. He's kind of any port in the storm would do, so to speak. There was some reservation in some of her family members thinking that I was not going to stay with her after I finished my time in the military. So we quickly resolved that after a little time.
The proposal for us, it wasn't a discussion. it's funny. It wasn't a discussion. It was like, hey, we've been dating. You like me, I like you. We fell in love, and it's like, okay, we're gonna get married, and we just started making all these plans. But when Hyman got out of the military, we were just gonna move to Atlanta and get married and do our own thing.
Our proposal, I remember it the same way. There was no proposal. I was laughing about that the other day, thinking, wow, I never actually got on the knee, held her hand, any of that. We just hit it off really well. It was almost like merging onto 285, getting on the expressway. Just something you do. Just worked out. We met in September of 1984, and we got married in November of 1985. So what's that, 13 months, 14 months, somewhere in that neighborhood. Not a long time of dating. I pretty much knew that Deborah was the person that I wanted to marry. I had dated in high school, dated a little when I was in the military, had not dated anyone like her. And at the time, I didn't realize that she was perfect for me until later in life. But initially, she was very quiet, very, very quiet. In fact, she was so quiet it used to upset me sometimes. She's not real quiet now, but that's another story.
One other thing I would like to add, in our quest to move to Atlanta, we were saying to each other, okay, when we move to Atlanta, we're going to buy a trailer.
Double wide
trailer, because it didn't cost that much. We was thinking about that. We're going to buy a trailer. Oh man, we won't have a large house payment. We were going to buy it from Jim Jones Mobile Home down
Victory
in
Drive.
Columbus. Later did we know when we got up here, hey, prices of houses was great.
My favorite features about Deborah is she has a smile that will melt you. And I love looking at that pretty smile. It just drives me wild. But she is a caring person. She loves to give. That's one of the things I like about her. Sometimes I get upset. I have my moments that I get upset. She wants to give, but that's what I love about her. She's not a selfish person.
And Hyman, he has a kind spirit and giving also. Thing I love about him are these lips. And especially since he went back black. Oh yeah, I like that. We've been married November 16th. Got married November 16th, 1985. Here are the rings. These the rings. Oh, we still have them.
I believe we paid $400 for this wedding set.
Yes.
In 1985. So we've been married 28 years. This November will be 29 years that we've been married. I think what's helped us got this far, once we really understood that marriage is about not being selfish. I think most people have a hard time lasting in marriage because they don't realize that we all are selfish. The question is whether or not we're willing to give and take. Most people are takers but not givers. But I believe that not being selfish has really helped us.
Compromising, because there are a lot of times when he want to do something and I don't want to do it or go somewhere and I don't want to go. His attitude and my attitude, he's like, well, if you don't want to go, I don't want you to go, because if you're there, I want you to be happy. So it's a give and take and a trust relationship. I feel that for us, this has worked so good for us. A lot of times people have a challenge with the finances, the money part. And as I said in the opening of this video, that I'm the CFO, Chief Financial Person. Officer. So I take care of the finances. Like we have 2 checking accounts. We have a business checking account and a personal checking account. And most of the time, Hyman, he doesn't know how much money is in those accounts. He trusts me enough that I'm going to do the right thing toward our family. And I think being honest about the money and him trusting me in that area works for us. That's just for us.
Once trust is broken, it's very difficult to regain that trust. But for us, having multiple accounts, meaning you have your own account, I have my own account, you pay this bill, I pay that bill. To me, I think that's just personally, this is my opinion.
Yes.
I think it's a setup for failure because it shows a lack of trust where we don't trust each other. One of the largest areas of problem in a marriage is finances. And if you can get finances, religion, children, get on the same page in those areas, it is unbelievable the type of marriage you can have. And I'm not saying you won't have any problems, but you'll be able to overcome most challenges that most marriages have.
If I could talk to a young couple that's dating right now, thinking about getting married, my main thing I would suggest is first read the marriage vows and see if you are willing to go and do what the marriage vow says, because there are going to be trials and tribulations in a marriage. So you got to love each other, trust and respect each other. The marriage vows that says for better or worse. Can you really stick it out for better or worse? So that's something that I would suggest looking at, and get a role model. Talk to some people that's been married for a year, 10, 20, 30, however long a person has been married. Go and talk to somebody and see what they're dealing with. That will probably help you.
If I had to speak to a person that's about to get married, first thing I would ask you is not what do you like about the person, but what don't you like about that individual. And then you have to ask yourself, if I know I'm never going to be able to overcome my feelings as it relates to what I don't like about this person, then I don't recommend you move forward with this relationship, because 9 times out of 10, very few people are going to change. When I say are going to change, meaning if they have bad habits, like I have some bad habits, like not putting my clothes away and little things like that. But that's just an example. But if if you know that you're not able to overcome dealing with what you don't like about an individual, I highly recommend you reconsider getting married. Number two, I would recommend that you get counseling. Not a 1 day, 30-second kind of counseling, but months of counseling where someone really sit down and give you some strong counseling advice about marriage, because marriage is very serious. It's a lifetime membership, and part of the marriage vows where it talks about until death do us part, but most people unfortunately think it says until debt do us part, and it doesn't say debt, it says death.
Hi again, my name is Deborah Bell.
And I'm Hyman Bell, and this is our love story.
One more time.
What happened?
You forgot. He like this.
Oh, okay.
You throwing peace signs and all this stuff?
Okay, so we